Welcome in, hockey fans. I say this a lot lately because it's October. You can see the smile on this guy's face. Coach Chris Mayotte is with me here at Colorado College. The Taj Mahal of hockey right now. It's beautiful. I don't think you guys missed anything, but tell us again what your first impression was when you saw everything complete.
No, it is gorgeous, and they didn't miss anything. I think they executed perfectly, especially for our campus, for our community. It has a grand feel from the outside and from the inside. It's not, you notice it when you walk by it, and it's gorgeous inside and out. But it also has the intimacy, that makes college sports special and creates a special atmosphere. So I think those are the two things that you're really looking for, is how do you make something that feels like a big time event, that you're going someplace, important, but at the same time, you're able to have that experience and that atmosphere, so you don't get too big and lose that. And, they knocked it out of the park.
Speaking of atmosphere, you finally got to play a game in here. You got to look at your team in game situations last weekend against the Air Force. 2-1. I watched it on NCHC TV, and I'm going like, that was intense. What did it feel like on the bench?
Yeah, it was, and I think that's, and that's college hockey. Right. Yeah, I don't think at this point, there's so many good coaches around the country, so many good programs, so many teams are so well prepared, that it's a battle every night, and the intensity is high. We get to play 34 regular season games, and so there really isn't anything to save it for. But it was, and I think, the crowd, the new building, all of that, coming off of a pandemic where you weren't allowed to have fans, and all of that kind of into one. And I expect this weekend to be a lot of the same.
I think a lot of people, Chris, forget that this is your first year here and that you got a whole new group of guys for the most part. You did name your captains yesterday, which I thought was very nice. I thought those choices were very good. Tell us about how those two got that spot.
Well, we've talked a lot about what it means to be a Tiger, and what this program is about and what we're trying to accomplish here. And Brian Hawkinson and Brian Yoon, they live it every day, and they come to the rink prepared. They work hard, not only on the ice, but in the weight room, in the classroom, in the video room. They're always hanging around, working on their bodies, doing the extra stuff, doing all the little things that really add up over time. And then on top of that, the biggest thing for our staff that we didn't know was how their teammates respond to them and the type of respect they have in that room. And that became really clear throughout our first month and a half together, is that those are two guys that the rest of the group kind of looked to and relied on. They're not the only two leaders we have in that locker room. We actually have a lot of great leaders that we're really excited about, but those were the two that I think made most sense to lead this team.
And you can't put a letter on everybody, but we know how that goes. But I met Brian for the first time, Brian Yoon anyway, at a media day, and I thought he handled himself very, very well and represented your program very well. But people in the Southwest, Chris, I don't know if they know about Colorado College. I mean, they know you're here, right? But they don't know the history, and I think this building provides history, and I think you're installing some history as well. Am I right?
No question. And I think that's the biggest thing, is for so long this program hasn't really had a home.
Right.
And so it's one of the more historic programs in the country. I think wins, we're top 5th, we're 14th all time, 62 All-Americans, 2 national championships, 2 Hobie Baker winners, 35 plus NHLers. I mean, it really is a special program, but because it hasn't had a home, you haven't been able to walk into a place and feel the history. And so I think that's the other part that was so important for this building, was to make sure that when people walk through here, it doesn't feel like a museum, but it's a walk through time in terms of everything that this program has accomplished.
Yeah, for sure. I felt that when I walked in. I told you, I felt that when I walked around the building on the outside, and coming inside was unbelievable. So here's a quick question that I want an answer from personally is, are there times when you walk in here and you go like, man, I'm coaching hockey at the NCAA level, or do you have to pinch yourself a little bit and go like, I'm not sure about this building deal? You know what I'm saying?
I do. It's, no, it is, but is no matter where you're doing it, the job is the same, right? And coaching is the same, and building culture is what you're trying to do. And it takes so much attention. You know, people talk about culture like it's this thing that you put in and then you forget about it. Culture is an everyday thing, you know, and everything that you do, all your meetings, all your actions, everything is either working towards where you're trying to go or taken away from it. And so that stuff takes up so much time. You certainly, you know, the national anthem for Air Force was one of those look around moments. But once the puck drops, you know, it's competition. You're right back to competing. You could be on a pond out back or in a big time building. It's the same. The emotions are the same. But it is you do look around and it is, you know, it's an incredible honor for our staff to be the staff that gets to bring Tiger hockey into this new era.
Okay, so that leads me right onto that team on the ice. What have you learned from your group so far?
I think we've learned that we have the ability to play the way that we want to play, that we think is going to be successful. Our challenge is going to be the consistency of it and how quickly we get there. But we have enough in our room that we can play the right way, and we can do things the right way for 60 minutes. We'll win some games. And by some, I mean more than what people might expect. We learned a lot. We learned how to handle adversity. We learned, our guys stuck with it for 60 minutes. They made a push. We executed a lot of things well. We just didn't do it long enough, and we didn't do it consistent enough. And I thought when we got put on our heels a little bit, it took us a little too long to respond. But those are all things that you don't know until you get into it. And so now, as a staff, when we look at this week for practice and we're able to put together a much more detailed plan in terms of, hey, these are things we do well, these are things we need to make sure we improve on so that we can be successful. And so it was a good week of practice, and it was good to get that out of the way. And now I think we're able to be much more intentional with how we move forward.
Okay, quickly over your players. Goaltending is obviously a strength for you. I think both Dominic and Matt can get the job done for you. Have you found a number one yet, or are they still battling it out?
No, they're still battling that out, and I think they'll be battling that out for a while. I think one of the big things that we're trying to establish in this culture is that Monday through Thursday matters. And you have to put in the work, and you have to earn the opportunity for Friday and Saturday. And for our staff, we don't have a bunch of guys with a long history, right? It's not like we've been with Brian Yoon for 3 years and he's automatically in. If he doesn't work it that week, he's got a chance to be watching. And I think that's for our entire roster. And I think for the guys who, are returners and had to establish themselves as, go-to guys, it was an opportunity for them to kind of refocus and recommit to getting better. And for the guys who maybe last year didn't go the way they planned, or the first 2 years, it was a breath of fresh air to kind of earn a new opportunity. And so that's quite honestly, that's where our program is that Monday through Thursday is going to be, is going to say a lot about how we do and who we go out there with on Friday, Saturday.
Just a crazy guess, but as a coach, you love that, don't you, to see that intensity from Monday to Thursday?
You do, and you need it. That's the only way you grow is by pushing each other on the week in the week. And again, we only play 34 games, so if you're not handling adversity, if you're not pushing each other, if you're not growing Monday through Thursday, it's hard to say, those 34 nights last year, I got a lot better. It has to come Monday through Thursday.
Well, I made the comment, I was back in college in 1980 to 84 at Minnesota Duluth, and I told Jerry when he was taking me on the tour, I said, college hockey has changed. You've seen it. We've all seen it. Now the NIL is out. Are there hockey players that are going to want to stay in college now for 4 full years? Is that something that might happen to keep them away from the NHL? They don't get the team that they want to get drafted by, or, hey, stay and play college hockey. You can't miss it.
Yeah, I do think there's an opportunity there, and I think the biggest thing with all of college hockey is you just have to have a program that people want to be a part of. Right. And it doesn't mean that they should give up their dreams of playing in the NHL to stick around. Like, if guys are ready to go, we understand that that's the ultimate goal. It was all of ours as coaches when we were playing too. The 2 assistants reached theirs. I didn't. But that's the goal. That's the dream. And I think for us, we want to recruit guys that want to help us win at Colorado College, and they want to help build something special here. But at the same time, as a staff, we want to help them reach their ultimate goal and play in the NHL as well. So it's that fine line. But I think you can do both. I think we can have guys be here, win for Colorado College, put in everything they have, but then we want to help them move on and be successful NHLers as well.
Well, I've told everybody that you make me want to go back to college, so we'll end this, and then we'll sit down in your office and I'll sign that national letter, okay?
Love to have you.
Thanks, Coach. That's Chris Mayotte joining us right before a big series, St. Lawrence and Colorado College right here in the beautiful Ed Robson Arena. Perfect.
Awesome.